Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here in June. I'm very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. Hello, welcome back to Big Mouth yet again, and welcome to Thursday's edition of the Doctor Who Daily. I am so enjoying connecting with my fellow Doctor Who fans and doing these videos every day. So we've reviewed season 12, we've reviewed all the episodes, all these weeks we've been discussing the episodes to death. We've been talking about, is it a canon break, is it a non-canon break, or is it just building on something that's already so spectacular? My opinion, this is not a canon break, it changes something. It means the Doctor isn't from Gallifrey. They've destroyed Gallifrey, but they've done that before. Personally, right, I think it just builds upon the great canon of this show. Him showing the Morbius doctors when the Doctor uses her memories to escape the Matrix, right? That's a beautiful moment. Again, classic Who fans should like that. But again, they find a reason to hate it. But what's great about that moment and what Chris does there, saying, hey, you know, classic Who that you think is superior to what I'm doing, well, they said there were pre-Hartnell doctors. I'm saying that too. And you're hating me for it and loving them for doing it. It doesn't make sense. Do you understand? So it's a building of the canon. Also, if we're quite honest, Gallifrey has never been that interesting of a planet, basically, is it? There's not much to it. If you think about it, when you think about all the planets the Doctor's visited, Gallifrey is actually quite a dull planet. I mean, you're talking about the Time Lords, right? And at this citadel, observing the universe, they're quite actually inactive characters and people, right? Now, for me, there's lots of ways you can make them interesting. You can have the whole concept of New Who from the beginning, from the episode Rose, saying that the Time Lords are now chasing after the Doctor. They want to bring him back to Gallifrey, and he's on the run. That would have been pretty exciting. But basically, what Chris has done is he's torn Gallifrey down and saying, right, we are moving on now. The Doctor is from another universe, from another planet. The Doctor could actually be the only being from her civilization. That's such a big mystery, and that's such a great element to explore. And today I want to talk about potentially what we could see in season 13. So one of the things that's really excited me, and I know a lot of you lot, and I'm not talking about the haters here, because there's no point going on about what they're saying, because all we're getting every day is canon break, Doctor Who is dead, R.I.P. Doctor Who. Well, you can keep on saying that, but Doctor Who is going nowhere. We have another season, then another season. We've got a Christmas special, a very exciting one. And what Chibnall has done has given us so much potential for the future. And once you sit down and see that, you also can be excited for Doctor Who. Again, I think the future is limitless. I've also been talking on Instagram today, and I actually atted Stephen Moffat and Russell T Davies because they're on there. And I said, wouldn't it be wonderful if Russell T Davies, Stephen Moffat and Chris Chibnall wrote the 60th anniversary together as a 3-hour epic movie? Or each one writes a part of a trilogy. A 3-part trilogy, one written by RTD, the other written by Stephen Moffat, and the final one written by Chris Chibnall, who I'm assuming will still be the showrunner then, but who knows? We can't tell the future. We're not like the Doctor. We ain't got a time machine, have we? But who knows? So that would be pretty awesome. So one of the things I think that's definitely going to be explored in season 13, right, is the Ruth Doctor. Now, Jo Martin has been embraced, and she is on Twitter, by the way, but she doesn't have a blue check mark, so look out for her, and she's thanked everyone for her kind words. I am so excited to see Jo's Doctor again. She has the screen presence. She doesn't even have to perform any dialogue to be the Doctor. I remember seeing her in the classic TARDIS design in The Fugitive of the Judoon with Jodie, and I'm thinking, this woman elevates the Doctor. She is the Doctor. She is amazing. The costume's amazing. The glasses are amazing. She is the freaking Doctor. And two things we can all agree on here. Chris Chibnall has got the Ruth Doctor spot on, and also he's got the Master spot on. So in fact, when he finally moves Jodie on, we have got an even more exciting future for Doctor Who. Now, for human reasons, as a human being, I feel bad for Jodie that she's the one who's kind of had to take the raw deal so we can get to the better deal. That's not great. It's a hard thing for Jodie, because I'm assuming that Jo Martin will be the Doctor when Jodie leaves. I'm assuming at the end of season 13, unless we're up for a very, very interesting, exciting surprise by the end of the Christmas special. Who knows? But as far as we know, she's the Doctor for season 13. I also had a theory that Ruth isn't actually the Doctor, but it's just a theory. Let's just say for now that my theory is wrong, like most of them are. Although I did say that the Doctor was from another planet before the Timeless Children, and that they used her for her ability to regenerate. And I was right, wasn't I? And so let's just imagine that Ruth actually is the Doctor. And Ruth actually is a season 6B Doctor, which fits, right? So she may be a pre-Troughton regeneration. She would have to be if she fits into that theory. So what we saw in The Matrix was the Doctor, as a young man, being told by this secret society that they would be doing missions. And the kind of person running this secret society was saying, Time Lord rules are for people to observe and not to interfere. But you will be interfering. So it's quite obvious that the Doctor and these other two Time Lords, whoever they are, by the way, that's an interesting thing as well, actually were going out there performing missions. Again, brilliant by Chris Chibnall to enact this situation. And this is a situation and a concept that wasn't created by Chris Chibnall. This has been in Doctor Who graphic novels and books, right? The season 6B thing. It's amazing of Chris Chibnall to enact this. And again, many classic fans actually think that's an awesome idea. So why you're hating on Chibnall for enacting this, I truly don't understand. Maybe you have another agenda. I wonder what that could be, eh? Best not talk about that. But anyway, right, so I think what we're seeing in season 13 is these flashbacks of these different versions of the Doctor doing these secret missions for the secret society, who are actually in these comic books and books called the CIA. Interesting. Is it the Celestial Intervention Agency? I think I've got it right. Comment down below if I'm right. Comment down below if I'm wrong. But if I have got it right, pat on the head, say, well done, Mick, you know something. Because I get so much wrong, right? So I'm assuming some of the things they had the Doctor do were really, really kind of dark deeds that maybe the Doctor regrets. Now, so that's interesting about season 3. I think we will see a lot of flashbacks, and I think where maybe the Doctor will meet different versions of herself. This is great potential now. It opens up the landscape. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing. What Chibnall has done is not bad. If he can just sort out Jodie's Doctor's characterization, right, then we could have a really exciting Doctor, and an expansion of the canon is always a good thing, as long as it's an exciting idea. And it is. So now we have to go back to Hartnell's, William Hartnell's Doctor, right? Why did he leave Gallifrey, right? What if Hartnell's Doctor had total recall of being the Timeless Child and working out what Tecteun done to him, right? When she first found him, right? And how she stole his ability to regenerate. She stole his DNA and used him. Maybe that's the reason he ran away. Maybe he had total recall. He grabbed Susan because he didn't want Susan involved in Time Lord Society anymore. It disgusted him, so he ran away. He ran away, but then the memories were haunting him so much that he wiped his own mind. And that's why Jodie's Doctor, the 13th Doctor, can't remember a freaking thing. Because the mind wipe was so good by Hartnell's Doctor because he didn't want to remember the dark deeds that he did. So that could be a great reason for why the Doctor ran away from Gallifrey. Now, it exposes another mystery about the Doctor, but because Chibnall's created these new mysteries, it doesn't really matter. These are things that can make season 13 and these kind of revelations really exciting. What really scares me about season 13 is that Chris is affected by the criticism and he goes back to not having any arc story in season 13. I think it's pretty clear that we definitely need to have an arc going forward now, especially for Chris. That what they did in season 11 with 11 individual episodes just didn't work. It wasn't entertaining enough, right? You can have standalone awesome episodes. They certainly need to improve that, but I want to see this arc and this reveal of the Doctor being the timeless child and this Ruth Doctor mystery explored even more. You don't necessarily need to spoon feed me answers like the rest of these people want, but I want it explored. It's very, very exciting. Now, someone I follow on Twitter who's a Doctor Who fan, I think his name's William, right? I can't remember, whatever, right? And he was saying that actually Doctor Who season 12 could have had 6 episodes. It could have literally had Spyfall two-parter. It could have had The Haunting of the Villa Diodati, The Fugitive of the Judoon, and the final two-parter as well. I think this is a good point. And this would have tightened up the season. I'm actually a fan of really short seasons. I think if you have 6 episodes in season 12, just the episodes that deal with the arc, that's really an awesome season. And it stops you kind of thinking, well, these standalones are not great, really, are they? They're okay. They're not terrible. They're just not great. So if you get rid of them, if you trim away the fat and you just have the arc-based episodes, all of a sudden, season 12, which is a really good season on a whole, as a whole, right? But actually, with just those 6 episodes dealing with the arc, they would be even better. I do think 6 episodes a season is something that may happen in the future for Doctor Who, but I do think we've got something very, very exciting happening for season 13. There is no question for me that Jo Martin will be the next full-time Doctor. It makes sense. We've met her. We like her. She doesn't, I mean, you've got to fine-tune her. You've got to flesh her out. Of course you do. But already she has characteristics and she's interesting to the fans and the community and the consumer. And with Doctor Who, or with any characterizations, that's very, very important. The question is, when will she become the next Doctor or the Doctor we play around with, right, full time? This is all very interesting, and these are things that only Chris Chibnall knows. And just remember, Chris Chibnall still hasn't come out publicly to talk about his reveal of the Timeless Child. Again, that's very interesting, considering he came out straight away after Fugitive of the Judoon and made some very, very specific points about what was going on. So that's interesting. So there's obviously more to tell, and I cannot wait. I will say that season 12 is an improvement, and I think season 13, if he expands on this thing that he's created, could be one of the best seasons in Doctor Who history. We will see. We will see the future of Jodie Whittaker. We know, or it's becoming apparent, that Bradley Walsh and Chol Sin-Ko are leaving. That leaves only Yaz, interesting and curious. And will she be joined by another couple of companions, or is it just her and the Doctor? Saying I said the other day I would actually prefer, because I think that would be a more personal Doctor-companion relationship. And I've always liked them as well. But we will see what happens. But what do you think? What are your hopes and dreams for season 13 of Doctor Who? I've told you some of mine. I will continue to do other videos to expand on all of this. But I am excited for the future of Doctor Who. Comment down below, like, share and subscribe. And I'll be back tomorrow with even more Doctor Who Daily. See you then.